Hello and welcome to Chatter of the Week.
Right, well this week is, and it's during this week that we're supposed to all receive one of these leaflets. I just printed it out.
Yeah.
From the government. The referendum, EU referendum.
Yes.
Obviously this has been entitled "Why the Government Believes That Voting to Remain in the European Union is the best decision for the UK." Referendum, for anyone that doesn't know, who's in the dark, is on the 23rd of June 2016.
Yes.
Please.
Let's see what we've got.
Now this leaflet, for everyone that doesn't know about it yet, and again, whether they've been in a cave, has cost £9.3 million of taxpayers' money.
And isn't actually a leaflet.
No, it's too many pages to be a leaflet. It's more of a pamphlet, I'd say.
Pamphlet
personally.
or a booklet. It's certainly not a leaflet.
How come I get all the writing, you're getting all the pretty pictures?
Because he can't read.
Yeah. Well, I've got some text.
Yeah, so they just going on. I mean, this is like the first bit. They said it's an important decision for the UK. Well, yeah, of course it is. It's the EU, isn't it? We, some of us want out, some of us want in. I'm not going to read it all. I really can't be bothered. But it's they're saying, like they've said, we've got a special status. Which you obviously must have heard the news on that.
Yeah.
Cameron saying that we're not going to take the euro, we're not going to take any more of their laws.
Yeah, despite
we're going to keep our borders open.
They will try and force us into the euro later on.
Well, yeah, I mean, what's to say that another European law comes out that says all European members, EU members, must adopt the EU.
Well, yeah.
The EU's currency, the ECU or whatever they flipping call the individual one.
Some dodgy.
I mean, this is basic points.
So we're not supposed to say dodgy, are we? Because of Dodgy Dave.
Dodgy Dave, yeah, Dodgy Dave.
Dodgy Dave in the House of Commons.
Yeah, anyone that's seen these clips are good. I mean, there's nothing here. They really are just going on about cutting down red tape and all that gubbins.
Oh, engines.
They've seen in picture he likes. Now they're saying that you get by staying in, we get a stronger economy. Now, one of the things I think there's over 3 million UK jobs are linked to exports to the EU. Well, actually, no, they're not. Not really.
We actually import more than we export.
Yeah. So. Now, see, the thing is, they did it on percentage, not value, I think, or one something like that. So, one way around, and you look at it, and this is why I hate stats, because you can, if you look at it, so like I say, oh well, look, if you say 46% or whatever, 52%, that's more than half we're putting out. But then when you look at the value of it, it was 23 quid.
Yeah, that's the step.
It's nothing. Whereas if you can twist them. It depends.
Yeah.
If one lot of the numbers there are higher than that side, you say it from that point of view to make it look better, and if not, you just say it from that way to make it look better.
Yeah, exactly.
So in 1%, percentages are higher, so you say, yeah, I'll use percentages. It sounds good. And if that sounds really shit, you say, well, let's go on. Let's look at the value. The value sounds really brilliant. Yeah. Because we're taking in, say, £1 million worth of stuff, and we're sending out 10 million quid. That's obviously better. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely cosmic. It's stats, statistics.
And I can't see how they're saying it's a stronger economy when he constantly says that it was a leap into the dark. We don't know what's going to happen if we
well, that's just it, isn't it? If you don't know what's going to happen, how can you scaremonger?
Well, that's just it. You can't comment on what will happen if you're stating you don't.
I mean, I must admit, I haven't read the whole leaflet.
But food,
whatever. I have had a little glance through. They're saying like the cost of living will go up. How do you know that? How do you know when we're producing all our own produce, instead of it just sitting there and going rotten, because we're not allowed to do anything with it?
Wonky or whatever.
Right? Yeah, exactly. We keep it all in here. We use the lot, so we don't have food mountains there sitting there rotting. Yeah. How do you know our food's not going to be cheaper?
Well, that's just it. Now, from the statistics that I've looked at, actually come from the European Council, that states that, or the European Commission, whatever they want to call themselves, states that we're one of the biggest importers of produce and stuff, and in fact across the whole board. So I would be prepared to state here and now that I honestly believe if we leave the EU, all of the remaining countries that are staying in the EU will be desperate to do deals with us, because otherwise they're going to be losing.
That's it. That actually brings us part of the other bit. The next part on this one, they're going on about travelling abroad becoming more expensive because there's all these subsidies and that. Well, what will happen is they want us to still go over there. They still want half our money.
Yeah. So
we can make our own deal. I mean, how dare Cameron turn around and say, you know, basically he's saying the country's shit, you know, that, you know, negotiating deals.
Yeah. Maybe he is, but
yeah, but we're not. We, you know, when you look back at the history of the UK, we are very well equipped for negotiating. We're very good at it. We've had to be. We're a small island.
Well, exactly.
We had to fight for everything, so we make new deals. And you know, I must admit, I am now guaranteed to vote against staying in the EU.
Because it's been pushed upon us.
Because it's been pushed upon us, it's been forced. I mean, this leaflet, now, one of the things that have come out first on the news, and you know how much I watch the news, was it's saying 80% of the people who are voting age in this country had asked the government for more information. Now, I have two things about that straight away. One, I very much doubt 80% of the population have asked anything.
Yeah.
And two, nowhere there did it say, well, we want to know only the government's view.
Yeah.
You know, the biasness of it. You know, if I ask them for information,
I want both.
I want both sides. I want the lot. I want the facts. Not, you know, this scaremongering rubbish. And that is really all it is. Cost of food. Christ's sake.
What's this, man?
Oh, single market. We won't have access to the single market. And look at this. They said it will mean a decade of or more of uncertainty. Really?
Yeah. You
really believe we'll have a decade or more of not knowing what's going on in our own country? What? Is he planning on being in power for the next decade then?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'm sorry, there's no way I believe we'd have a decade of problems. Anything else you want to say on that one? I mean,
well, they specifically pick out one particular country. They go on about Canada. Canada's deal with the EU will give limited access for services. But then Canada doesn't actually export anything but yellow snow. So, you know, they're not really in the same
plus
league
also
as a country.
You know, if we produce stuff and they want it, they'll have it. This one I do actually like. This one I've actually read myself, and I immediately spotted something really good, which is why I did really want to do the show.
Right.
You've got this bit they're going about the UK borders, right? They're no longer. I mean, you must have heard what the French have said.
Yeah.
We leave the EU, they're just going to let everyone across.
Yeah.
Right, and Cameron's turned around and said, "Oh, we have hundreds of thousands of more immigrants." Right, and at the moment, being part of the EU, we've got this lovely border, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, if you read close in, it's quite good. They go in here. The EU cooperation makes it easier to keep criminals and terrorists out of the UK. Since 2004, using European arrest warrants, over 1,000 suspects have been faced justice in UK court. Hang on, that means there's 1,000 of them criminals have got through this impenetrable EU border.
Yeah.
Right, and then it goes on, and over 7,000 have been extradited. So that's 10,000 have got in.
Yeah.
With this brilliant EU border control system.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, how can it be that good if there's 10,000 have got through?
Well, yeah.
And how do they get through into the middle of France and blow stuff and shoot people there and in Belgium?
Well, yeah, absolutely. absolutely.
Because this whole EU thing is just a load of tosh. You
The
can't. The more countries you got involved, the harder it is to police it.
The other bit I wanted to say on that point actually is one of the things that I've heard is the whole talk of, oh, you know, we won't have access to central intelligence across the EU and blah blah blah. Now, whenever
But yet we hold the most intelligence next to America.
Yeah, well, but even ignoring that for a moment, you look at what all the stuff, and you know, other countries do have intelligence. I'm not denying that, but they don't release it until after the fact. I mean, just look at the you know, the poor innocent people that are killed in the Brussels attacks.
Yeah. There's no point releasing the information after the fact because it's already happened.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Turkey. They sent it to me and said, "Oh yeah, by the way, yeah, we arrested those 2 years ago. We suspected they were terrorists."
I mean, you can like this one. This is actually still links in. This next one on the picture. Just read out the bit on the picture.
EU membership brings economic security, peace, and stability. Despite the fact that the EU's like falling apart.
And there's bombings everywhere.
And there's bombings everywhere.
And what are they doing to the immigrants at the Belgian border at the moment?
They're stopping them from going anywhere.
Well, they're stopping them all. And what's on the news just recently? Ones that are trying to get into Greece and that. They've used grenades at them. You know, they're...
Oh, the flash things.
No, the other one. The tear gassy one.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. We're using that on them.
Yeah, and of course Greece is obviously the fine point, isn't it? They're part of the EU, and look at the state of them.
Yeah. They're absolutely awful, falling apart. I mean, they're saying there's opportunities for our children because of the EU.
Yeah. Oh no, I like this bit as well. The UK is a strong, independent nation.
That we have to stay in the EU, or else we won't survive.
Oh, exactly. So how can we be independent? Now,
I mean, I wouldn't be mocking this if it was genuinely unbiased.
Well, yeah.
But it was also, they're saying, the government's view. Have they sacked all those other ones then? Or are they still part of the government?
Well, no, they're still part of the government as far as I know. I mean, some of them have resigned from their posts because they've been kind of forced to.
Yeah, but then the other ones, are they part of the government still or not?
Well, yeah.
Well, then how can they say this is the government's view?
Yeah, that's just it. They can't call it the government as a whole. Yeah,
it's just rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. I've not seen anything in here that impresses me, to be honest.
And of course,
it's a big decision. Yeah, of course it is.
They keep saying it's a once in a generation decision, but if we're just staying exactly as we are, then we're not making any decision, are we?
No. Deciding not to do anything.
Yeah.
Right, the end bit's here, they're voting to... Government's voting... Yeah, well, no, it's not. A majority, possibly.
Yeah.
Have they checked every single person in government? And
well, probably not. I mean...
given us a percentage.
Let's face it, they've barely got time to do this, what we thought we were dealing with Cameron's tax affair.
Right, so in conclusion, really, then I think we can say that this has been a waste of £9.3 million of taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
Cameron's doing a dodgy deal trying to push it through, like his dodgy dealings with his inheritance.
Yeah.
And I think we can safely say this is one household one that's going to be sending a leaflet back to Downing Street.
Yes, definitely.
See you guys on another episode.